The death of Brian Malinowski is a tragedy, but unfortunately, it is not a surprise given the cavalier attitude of the ATF over the years and the way that they play fast and loose with the law and with the facts and with the lives of American citizens. I want to ask you about the latest area in which the ATF is playing fast and loose and really taking actions that are going to endanger more lives in the future if we don't see changes, and that's the new attempt to have a universal registration check rule. As you know, the Gun Control Act makes it unlawful for any person, save a licensed dealer, to engage in the business of dealing in firearms until he's filed an application with ATF and received a license. The 86 Act modified the GCA, adding a statutory definition of engaging in the business. And then in 2022, Biden signed into law the BCA, which broadened the definition by eliminating principal objective and replacing it with a requirement to predominantly earn a profit. But I want to ask you, because people who make occasional sales, exchanges, or purchases of firearms for the enhancement of a personal collection or for a hobby, or who sells all or part of his personal collection of firearms, was that portion of FOPA altered by the 22 Act?
So
was the exclusion altered?
That language
by
is
the 22
in
Act?
that language, I believe. I mean, this is in litigation, our position, and the rule speaks for itself. But I believe you will find in black and white in the rule that language that you just said. That in black and white in the rule, that language is there.
Yes, that language remains. That exclusion remains unaltered by the BSCA. So these people who make occasional sales, exchanges, or personal purchases of firearms for the enhancement of a personal collection or for a hobby, or who sell all or part of their personal collection of firearms, are exempt from this 22 Act modification, and yet what we see—
For those activities.
Right, for those activities. All right, well, let's
They're
talk
doing
about
a
whether
whole bunch of
personal
other
collection—
things.
Right. Do you believe that a personal collection of firearms can be for self-defense?
So I think, again, the provisions of the rule speak for itself. And in this format, it's hard to get into a deep debate on this. We also have filed significant legal papers in courts that are hearing this. And because it's pending litigation, nothing I say can or should contradict any of those things. The rule sets forth conduct-based factors which, under the totality of circumstances, right, could give rise to somebody being engaged in the business or not. And it gives examples.
I'm glad you said conduct, because where did Congress make it a crime to merely intend to earn a profit off of selling a privately owned firearm? Because that's what you're attempting to—
There clearly is an intent element of this statute that Congress wrote.
Solely intent? There's no action?
Again, as in many criminal statutes and many statutes that are regulatory, there is both an act and an intent. Sometimes those things differ from statute and regulation to other statutes and regulations. The text of the law and the text of the rule are always what controls.
Didn't change, and so your efforts to become mind readers over at ATF and somehow determine intent based on no activity whatsoever on the part of a gun owner to earn a profit—
Well, Congressman—
is playing fast and loose with the statute yet again.
Congressman, not even talking about this statute, but in many, many, many regulatory functions and many administrative proceedings, many civil proceedings, people's intent is part of the determination that finders of fact make. They look at their words. They look at various different things that they're doing, and they can infer intent. I think the standard jury instruction in many cases talks about these things.
Well, I just want to know when Congress authorized ATF to require Americans who offer to sell even one firearm to another family member to get a federal license, submit fingerprints, maintain government registration paperwork, register as a business, and keep regular business hours open for ATF inspections.
Congressman,
they never did that.
Let me be clear. This is not— the rule cannot and is not and does not create a universal background check We could not do that. Only Congress could do that, and I want to be very clear here that the rule does not do that.
I get what you're doing. ATF is playing too cute by half. The American people see it, we see it, and we're not going to allow you to do that. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.